Ever wonder what really goes on during one of those high-level diplomatic missions? It's so much more than just handshakes and fancy dinners. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and decode the secret playbook of a high-stakes international visit. Okay, so look at this. This right here, this is a diplomatic brief. Forget the press conferences and the official statements for a second. This is the real game plan. Every single meeting, every line item you see is a calculated move. It's all designed to push a nation's goals forward. And this one page, it's our key to understanding how these international power plays are actually won. So, what are the secret moves here? How does a packed schedule of meetings and events actually turn into a huge strategic win for a country? Well, let's break down the anatomy of this visit piece by piece. All right, first up, the global stage. This is what's called multilateral diplomacy. The idea here is to engage with a whole bunch of nations all at the same time, in one big forum. See, when you're on the global stage, every speech, every appearance is a strategic move. You're basically projecting your country's voice into this huge international conversation. And it's not just about what you say, but simply about being there, being seen. It's a chance to reinforce your nation's values, like a commitment to peace, in front of the whole world. This is exactly how you start to shape global opinion. But, influencing the whole world at once is only half the battle. A lot of the real progress happens behind closed doors. And that brings us to the one-on-one, or what they call bilateral engagement. This is where those direct country-to-country relationships are really built. This is where the real deals get hammered out. A direct meeting between leaders, it lets you have super focused talks on specific issues. And the big prize is often something like a comprehensive strategic partnership, which is just fancy diplomatic talk for a deep alliance on everything from security to trade. It's all about building a bond that's much bigger than just a single issue. So, just so we're all on the same page, let's put them side by side. Multilateral is your big global conference, right? Think the United Nations. Bilateral is that critical one-on-one meeting, the direct handshake. You absolutely need both in the diplomatic toolkit, but you use them for very different reasons. But here's the thing about modern diplomacy. It's not just about politics and handshakes. It's also about what powers everything behind the scenes, the economy. And that brings us to our third part, trade dialogue. Yeah, at the end of the day, strong relationships are often built on strong economies. That's why these visits almost always have high-level trade talks. Think about it. Economic interdependence is like a powerful glue. When our countries trade and invest in each other, we create this shared interest in keeping things stable. And frankly, those economic wins can last a lot longer than any political promise. Okay, so we've gone from the big global stage down to governments and economies. Now let's zoom in even further, to the level of people. This is the human connection, and it's a part of diplomacy that's super important but often gets overlooked. And this slide right here captures that perfectly. See, diplomacy isn't just government to government. It's also people to people. By meeting with their own community living abroad, leaders can strengthen those cultural bridges and build these incredible support networks. This is what you call soft power in action. It's about winning hearts and minds to build a kind of goodwill that no official treaty could ever buy. Okay, so let's recap. We've seen the global stage, the one-on-one meetings, the economic talks, and that crucial community outreach. Now let's put it all together and figure out the final message. What was the whole point of this entire visit? And here it is. This is the core takeaway. Every single activity we just looked at was engineered to reinforce this one simple, powerful message. Vietnam continues its policy of peace and cooperation. That's the headline. The entire visit was built to deliver that line. And when you look at it this way, every piece of the puzzle just fits, doesn't it? The active role in global affairs, the clear commitment to strengthening relations with the U.S., it all funnels down into that one coherent diplomatic statement. It just shows a really clear, consistent, and well-played strategy. Which, of course, leaves us with a pretty big question for today's world. In an age of tweets and viral videos, does this formal, structured kind of diplomacy still have the same punch? Does the handshake still matter more than the hashtag? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.